I can't think. What am I supposed to?
All right. Greetings, guys. Thanks for joining me this morning in the backyard. This is Strength for Today. It's Man, Volume 6. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedule. I really appreciate that. I don't take that for granted. And I enjoy having you guys just, peeking in and seeing what we're going to be talking about briefly each morning. We got a good one today. We got a good one. But before I start, remember, like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to be reading from Matthew 6 and 10, where it says, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Your will be done. That's what I'm talking about. Your will be done. I'm trying to get started here early because it seems like every morning there's this little plane that wants to come by and do a flyby, and all you hear is this bird in the background. So I'm trying to get this done before he decides he want to come around again. But listen, it says, in the ancient world, a kingdom was a place where the values and way of life that the king desired were put into practice. I hear it coming. Without fail, every morning. I got to get started earlier. It says, as you can imagine, this could be good or bad, depending on the king. Jesus is the ultimate king. Throughout the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, he heals the sick, includes the social, spiritual, and racial outcasts into his family, and ultimately makes a public spectacle of the world's power by triumphing over it through death. The kingdom of Jesus is like no other. This is something my wife and we like to watch on Netflix, is about the different kingdoms. King Arthur, Constantinople in his reign, and how he protected Constantinople. I guess I'm saying that right. But all of those that deal with knights and kingdoms and things like that, we see some kings that are bad, some kings that are good, some kings really don't care about the people. It's all about their riches. It's all about them. And then there's those certain kings that it's about the people. It's about progress. It's about change. It's about doing what's right. And that's the same thing we deal with today. Those that are in power, some people don't really need to be in power because it's all about them. It's all about their status, and they lie, they cheat, and they swindle, as leaders. And then there's those certain leaders that it's about the people. It's about growth. It's about progress. It's about building. And this is what it's about for us, men, building the kingdom of God. It's about his kingdom, not ours. It's about his rule, not ours. It says, as we align ourselves with this God who is both beyond and near, we must take up the cause of his kingdom. This is why we're here. We're here to build his kingdom, talk about his kingdom. We're not here permanently. This is not our home as children of God, as men of God, women of God. It's about building his kingdom and talking about the kingdom of God. And this can be hard sometimes, because within each of us is a little ruler that, if left alone, would set up a kingdom that runs according to our basic desires and wants. This is why it's important for us to know it's his kingdom, not ours. It's not about us. We're not little dictators, little rulers. There's a lot of people that I see, they don't take directions very well. They don't like to be corrected. They don't like to be told what to do. They rather tell people what to do They're the dictators, they're the little rulers. But here it says, if those people are left alone to rule, their little tiny kingdoms will be according to their desires and their wants, and it's not always good. But listen, it says, as we learn to pray like Jesus, we must lay down our kingdoms and take up his kingdom mission. What's his kingdom mission? That's something that you really have to think about. You have to reevaluate your mission in accordance to his mission. It says, this doesn't mean that everyone becomes a pastor. That's funny, because when you think about it, everybody wants to be a pastor. Everybody wants to be a prophet. Everybody wants to be an apostle. Everybody wants to be this great bishop. Everybody wants. But what does God want? I don't have anything against those titles. Trust me. But what does God want in your title getting? What does God desire in your leadership role? It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's not about us. It's about his kingdom. It doesn't mean that we have to live at church. It does mean that we, like Jesus, should have a heart for the outcast and vulnerable. It does mean we should familiarize ourselves with sacrifice. It does mean that we should make Jesus our first allegiance in all areas of our life. Are you making allegiance with Jesus? Is he the first? Is he the last? Is he the middle in your life and all the decisions you make? Is it about him? Is it about his kingdom? Or is it about your own agenda? That's what we need to really consider. Is it about our agenda or is it about his agenda? Listen to this. It says, God, give me strength to live for your kingdom. Give me your power to love my family, my co-workers, and my neighbors. Help me to desire your kingdom. Your kingdom be done. It's not our kingdom. It's not our world. It's his kingdom. And that's the one thing that we as men have to understand, even in our home. Yes, we may be the leaders of our home, but it's God's kingdom. It's his rule in our lives that we are living to please him. Listen, as I close this thing out, I wrote a book a couple of years ago called Pathway to Christ, and that's on Amazon.com. But I also created just this past year a prayer journal for men. Now, I don't have it with me right now, but here's a picture of it, and this is what it looks like. It's called Prayer Journal for Men. It's an awesome journal. You can get it, pick it up, Amazon.com by Malachi Mitchell. And it's an awesome journal. As you spend time with God, praying and studying, it's a journal that you can write your notes in and do your study time in. And I haven't forgotten about you women, because look what I got for you. Boom. This is something that I put together for women. Their very own journal. So I have a couple of journals that you'll see in the pictures, what they look like. And please pick a couple of those up on Amazon.com. This is what they look like, and you'll enjoy them. They're great to have in your study time library and your arsenal. So with that, this has been Strength for Today's Man, Volume 6. Your will be done. Remember, God's will be done. And this is your boy, Malachi Mitchell. Be blessed.